Paragliding traffic rules are similar to driving traffic rules. I have to move to my right, and the other pilot has to move to their right, as long as we are on a collision course. Before turning, especially in dynamic wind conditions where there are many paragliders, I must look back to see if there's someone behind me. If I turn first without checking, I might run into someone who is flying very close behind me, and we could crash. So, I look first and then turn. Right now, I have a paraglider behind me, so before turning, I will move aside and let them pass. At this moment, I am not on a collision course with anyone, so I can maintain my heading. However, the paraglider in front of me is on a collision course, so I will shift to my right and they will shift to their right, allowing both of us to pass safely. This is why, here on the coast, there can be hundreds of paragliders in the air, yet we don't crash, because we all follow this simple and essential rule of moving to the right. Sometimes, I might be flying in light wind conditions and see another paraglider below me, struggling to stay up along the ridge. In that case, even if I technically have the right of way, I can move aside and give them priority so they can stay close to the ridge and gain altitude. These are the basic traffic rules for dynamic wind conditions. In thermic wind conditions, the same rules apply, but with one additional rule. When entering a thermal, a column of rising air that we use to climb by circling inside it, the first pilot to enter determines the turning direction of the thermal. That means if I enter a thermal and begin circling to the right, every pilot who enters after me must also turn to the right. If one pilot turns right and another turns left, we might end up facing each other inside the same thermal, leading to a potential mid-air collision. If I see another pilot who seems unfamiliar with traffic rules, I can use hand signals to communicate, indicating I'm going this way, or signaling them to move aside. If, even after using signals, I notice that the other pilot does not react or does not understand, the best thing to do is turn away and escape. I should not continue flying toward them. The worst thing that could happen is something similar to what occurs when walking. You try to move to one side, the other person moves the same way, and you end up colliding. Imagine that happening in the air. It could be fatal. So, if the other pilot does not follow traffic rules or does not react to my signals, I will not continue approaching them. I will check behind me to ensure the airspace is clear, then turn and fly away. Another common situation is when there's little wind and multiple pilots are competing for ridge lift. Sometimes, due to traffic rules, I need to move away from the ridge to allow someone else to climb. But if another pilot refuses to yield, whether out of stubbornness or fear of sinking out, they might stay in the ridge lift zone, blocking others. In these cases, I recommend simply leaving. If I can reach the landing zone, I will land there. If not, I will land on the beach. It's always better to be on the ground safe and sound than to get into an accident just because I insisted on fighting for space on the ridge. And that is exactly what's happening right now. The wind has weakened, and 4 paragliders are fighting for space on the ridge. Instead of joining them, I'm going to land and avoid the problem altogether.